computer. Oh my gosh. Hey y'all. Hey, it's us again. We're here for another Storytime Spotlight segment. It's me, Dr. Cece.
And I'm Miss Keah Adams.
Yes. And we are the Education and Community Engagement Department here at the August Wilson African American Cultural Center. Whew, that was a lot. So yeah, Kia, what we got on the agenda for today?
Today we have a real treat for you guys. You get to meet the amazing educators that make Youth Writers Camp possible. They work with our kids every year for the past several years and help them develop all the tools and skills they need to become literary powerhouses like the great August Wilson. So you're in for a real treat. You're going to hear a little bit about our instructors, their backgrounds, how they do their own writing, and what the future holds.
You know what, Kia, you said that so beautifully.
Thanks.
Yes. So, yes, without further ado, we are going to introduce our two amazing educators who just happen to be like some of the best educators here in Pittsburgh and just everywhere. Kids is loving these ladies. We have Miss Dionna Spencer and Miss Carla Knight. So let's give it up for them.
Hello.
Hey y'all.
Hey. Hello.
Hello. So how many years have we been doing this together? It's been
That's a great
it's
question,
a,
Cece.
I
I believe
can't.
this is the fifth
Is
year.
it the fifth?
Is it the
It
fifth?
might be. I think so. Mhm.
Wow,
Wow, that went fast, didn't it?
it did.
I just remember like um, when this was all, Youth Writers Camp was like we were trying to do new things and see
Yeah.
about new educators, and then I met Carla Knight, and then we talked about it, and then Carla Knight just happened to know Deanna Spencer, and then Kia came on board, and now we just the whole team
Yeah.
making this happen. So
I think it might have been even been more than 5 years because you guys worked through the pandemic.
We did work through the pandemic. Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah,
That's
Crazy.
this has been the
Yes,
mainstay
that's
come on,
true.
Kia, you better
for
get the
quite a bit of
history
time.
of this together because I
Yeah.
don't forgot it. Wow, that's
Yes,
that's
this
a long
Dr. Cece created not music, Youth Writers Camp when she was just not just a beginning doctor, like in very, very early days. So she
it
was
was
just a student.
it was a program that August Wilson Center had when I came on board. It just needed some things added, and then here we are,
Yeah.
five, six,
Yeah, it's been a
five
while.
Long
years.
time later. Long
Yeah.
Yeah.
time later.
That's crazy.
So Carla and Deanna, can you tell us about yourselves?
Sure. So I am Carla Knight. I am a principal at City Charter High School. I began as an ELA teacher way back when, way back when I met Deanna. I've been in education now for 11 years and just love teaching the Youth Writers Workshop. There's something powerful about helping young writers find their voice and be able to provide them with a platform to share. So that's just a little about me.
Yes, 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 Miss Knight. So I'm Deanna Spencer. I am an educator. So it's funny about our journey because Miss Knight and I talk about this and laugh about it sometimes. We both started as ELA teachers. And then I was like, you know what? We need to be something bigger than this. Like, we need to reach more kids, right? And we both went and got our principal licenses. So that was cool. That happened along our 6 years here, right? Right now, I'm actually in a literacy coach position, though. So, you
Yes.
know, steps at a time here. But I have been in education for about 12 years. And I love doing this workshop because it gives me the opportunity to see kids outside of the classroom, still enjoy writing, get to find a new love. Some kids have never written poetry or anything before, and then they come to the workshop and they're like, "Yep, this is what I want to do. I want to write more." So just seeing that transformation in some of our students is beautiful. So
Yeah. One thing I always notice about you guys is when you start off, you bring so much energy and it helps the kids break out of their own shells in the beginning. A lot of times when they first come in, they're like, and I'm sure you guys deal with this all the time as educators, they're a little afraid. And then you start with icebreakers and you have all these different unique and creative ways to kind of get them talking. And then once those stories start flowing, then you kind of like just hone all the energy into the skills. So that's something I really admire about the way you both work. I have a question about um, your own inspirations, the writers and authors and artists who inspire you to.
Um, well, I read a plethora of things. Really enjoy Octavia Butler. Really enjoy right now Frida McFadden. Um, Definitely reading a lot of bell hooks right now. But there's a lot to be said about like local authors, obviously August Wilson, obviously Damon Young, obviously Sharon Flake. There are a lot of people in Pittsburgh who have come onto the writer scene and written things that inspire us, the Black community, and there's space for them to inspire young people too. So, those are just a few of the authors that have inspired me along the way and that I continue to read today.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, she said someone, and I'm like, I've been hooked on their novels since Frida McFadden.
Yes.
She writes thriller, psychological thriller, so I've been into that as well. That's funny that you said that. But besides that, I came up in I went to an African center elementary school, so we did a lot of work with African American authors. So when I think of my inspirations, I go back there, right? Maya Angelou,
Mhm.
Langston, August. That's
Mhm.
where I go when I think about my inspiration. But what keeps me going definitely are like the things I read today. And I'm kind of branching out and exploring, trying different authors, seeing what else I like and see, what else. Because I'm writing something right now. So
Oh, wow.
kind of
Okay.
gathering my research or so.
Good.
I can't wait to find out. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
I wonder, since you are all, you both enjoy reading and writing, like thinking back to your younger self, what type of stories do you wish that were told when you were younger? If that makes sense.
Um, I would have to say, stories more about joy and like success. I feel like a lot of things that I was exposed to when I was younger and even today are the hardships of Black people, how hard it was and how difficult it's been. And yes, we know resilient people, right? But what
Mhm.
about the successful Black people? What about, the happy joy? Where is that? So that's something I wish I was introduced more to when I was a kid. And I think that's why a lot of my writing that I do, especially when it comes to my poetry, is so emotional because I'm just drawn on that part of things, right? So yeah, more joy, more
Yeah.
success.
I love that. I love that you went to an African American center school. Like, that says to me that Black authorship was embedded into the curriculum. And not all schools were like that. I definitely went to a more traditional school where Black authors weren't always presented. They weren't always at the forefront. So you had to go out and search for, those stories and those voices, kind of on your own. So just my general desire for that time will be to hear more Black voices, to hear more Black stories, to hear and understand stories that align more with my personal life. And what I find is value. What I've learned as a teacher, if anything, is that there has to be buy-in for students to want to learn. It's always the question of what does this have to do with me?
Mhm.
And so, stories that share Black voices, Black women voices, and help us learn more about the culture is definitely something that I could have benefited from when I was in grade school.
And that's probably, I'm just going to go off that. That's probably a lot of our students' experience because, like you said, that is it's pretty rare to go to a school like that, and I don't even know how much of the curriculum or if they even do that because the schools have changed so much.
Mhm.
I don't even know anymore. So that is a lot of our students' experience. They don't get exposed to it.
Mm. It's so interesting that you two bring that up because Cece and I recently were away at a conference, State of Black Learning, and one thing that stood out to us was a particular story called "The Danger of the Single Story," which basically is kind of always hearing the same kind of narrative over and over and over again, and how that can, even if it's unintentional, keep you in this idea that things can only be one way and stories only end one way.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, this leads to our community, our children being discouraged or feeling like maybe this is something that's out of reach for them. And so for you, Carla, to mention buy-in and what does this have to do with me? It's such a pivot from what we're so used to. And I think it's one of the reasons why Youth Writers Camp is so wonderful for these kids because they're not an afterthought. They're being immediately centered. And so I think it's interesting that even though we all hold all different positions within the space, we see that kind of through line.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys, um, as writers, have you always felt confident in your writing? Why or why not?
There is a period that I think all young writers go through when there is that self-doubt.
Mm.
Who is going to actually care about what I have to say? And it takes repetition. It takes the courage to find new audiences. It takes the ability to share what you have to say with a diverse group of people to know who your audience is and to find the value in your voice. So, the challenge is around being able to write and feel like you have a voice
Mm.
that can remain consistent throughout your life.
Right.
But understanding that, your voice is your power is really what we try to express to the kids in the Youth Writers Workshop. And in a world that's ever changing where you can talk about so many things and you never know how people are gonna quite take it. There's always going to be that challenge there of who's listening, who finds this as value, and should I even continue? But the answer is always yes.
Yeah,
Always keep writing, always keep sharing, and always keep, um, you know, continuing to elevate your voice through
Wow.
writing.
absolutely. I couldn't have
Oh,
said it better.
yeah, that
That
was powerful. I'm
value,
like, wait, let me
right,
break this down for myself.
right. The value in your voice. And I think that's what held me back from sharing my work for a long time is just those same questions. Who wants to hear this? Like nobody cares. And just being very guarded about, letting people really get into what goes on up here.
Right.
So that was definitely tough, but understanding, yes, my voice does matter. And people need to hear this because someone may be going through something just like this, or maybe it may inspire someone. So yeah, absolutely. Value.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. So, Youth Writers Camp, like what was Youth Writers Camp 2026 about?
Youth
Take
Writers
us
Camp
take us through the
2026.
journey of what the kids learned from day one to the end.
We really, as ELA teachers, always try to um, share and make sure the students understand the writing process. That's the foundation of any youth writers camp. We always have a focal point, whether it's poetry, storytelling, but it's always understanding the writing process, because ultimately that is what's going to carry you through. That's the skill that we want you to learn and develop, even if it's in a short time. This year, we focused specifically on poetry. And we focused on the theme of resilience and what that means. And we asked the students to focus on a time in which they had to be resilient. We had them brainstorm, what kind of things happen in your day? What kind of things happen in your week? What are some challenges that you're experiencing right now that you know you're going to have to overcome or that you have overcome? And what did that story for you look like? How can we turn this into something that captures this moment for you and shows you how you worked yourself through it?
Mm.
We talked a lot about what resilience looks like, what it means, how it can look different for different people. And then we allowed the students to share with each other, gave them that opportunity to practice because your resilient moment could be reading to other people. I don't like to present in front of other people. Well, let's work through that. What does that look like? Let's give you an opportunity to work through that and get to the other side of it. What else, Miss Spencer?
So yeah, I mean the resilience piece. So we've decided to focus on that theme in our poetry. So not only do we get like a social aspect of it, right? Because we had to talk about what resilience was, and we had to make sure they understood it, what it looked like. We even talked about August Wilson plays where they have a theme of resilience and kind of make those connections. But we get really technical too. We can't forget about the technical stuff, right? So we talk about structure, right? This year was poetry, different ways to write poetry. It doesn't always have to rhyme, right? Different rhyme schemes. We talked about all the figurative language. You need figurative language in poetry, right, to make it exciting. So metaphors, simile, all that. We kind of talk, we introduce it, we talk about it, give examples, a lot of fun stuff that we do to get the kids engaged in the learning. And then, okay, make your own, give us some examples, let's share. And to see their work transform is amazing. They start with nothing, nothing. They don't even know what we're going to be writing about until they get there. And then it just goes from that nothing to a few lines to a few ideas and then this beautiful poem at the end. So it's kind of magical. It's
Yeah.
exciting to see and to
I
watch.
love magical things. Yeah. You often
Listening to
do
you,
that.
listening to you talk through that, listening to us kind of talk through it, I'm like, oh, we did a lot.
Yes,
Yes.
so
We giving you your flowers while you're here. Shout
For
out to
real
y'all
time.
for,
Yes.
for doing this thing for real. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Mhm.
Um, so youth writers camp happened, and this time, while it was hybrid, a lot of it was virtual. So I know me and Kia talk about this often. How like we just love how you engage the students virtually. Being in virtual classes and seminars and things, it could sometimes get a little like, oh, we're just sitting here. Can you explain to us how you made the classroom exciting with like what did you use in this virtual platform for Youth Writers Camp?
Deanna and I have had a lot of experience working on virtual platforms because we were teachers during COVID.
Yeah.
yeah.
We've also been teachers in the classroom and specifically for the subset of students that we've been working with. So we understand what makes them tick. We understand what can be engaging. We understand what can be boring. We both have been in classes. We all have been in classes where, if it's not engaging, then we're not listening. But we find ways to make sure that the kids are responding to us. We make a lot of the work, pretty much all of the work about them.
Mm.
How can you take this example? How can you take a simile, for example, and apply it to your life? Give me a comparison of two things using like or as that have to do with you.
Mhm.
And just being able to provide that customization is engaging for a student. We incorporate a lot of games.
Mm.
We incorporated brain breaks because who wants to be working for 2 hours straight through.
Right.
It was an opportunity to break up kind of the monotony and do something different. There was math that was incorporated into the brain breaks. There were puzzles, there were rebus puzzles. There were all kinds of things that kind of broke up what we were doing, and the kids would be on it. The
Yeah.
kids would be completely on it. We would know that they were paying attention because they would answer in the chat right away, or they would raise their hand right away.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, those were a few of the things that I miss. Spencer.
Think you got everything that time.
And I'm not gonna hold
Yeah.
you. Those brain breaks. I remember a few times I was on the sessions with the kids, and I was trying to figure it out, but here they come in the chat. So it's very fun. I think you all do such an amazing job in person and just virtually, and you don't find out a lot. Like I would have loved to be a kid in a virtual classroom with y'all. Just saying.
Because they make it like a game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's like we hear this term all the time now, gamify, gamify, gamify. Well, the kids love it. They love it, especially trying to see which of them is the first one to answer.
mhm,
And so once they kind of get that format and then they go into creating on their own, it's like they take that kind of game lens with
exactly.
them. And
Yes.
it's just I really enjoy watching that as well.
It makes it easier for them to learn, and sometimes they don't even realize that they just learned something
Yeah.
because it just happens so naturally.
Yep.
So,
We also, you have to find ways to naturally incorporate 21st century skills.
Mhm.
So, they're exercising critical thinking skills and they don't even know it. It just feels like it's another competition, or in instances where they have to work together, they're, using their collaboration and communication skills. They don't know it, but they're doing it.
Mhm.
So, ways to just kind of incorporate those things without a heavy lift is always going to be a win. It's
Right.
always going to be a win because it's always going to be fun for them. They just think it's a game, but really they're developing their personal skills.
right. And it makes them more comfortable to share when it's time to share, you
Yeah.
know. So it's good.
I do have a question for the group. As we talk about writing, the babies, and just the work of August Wilson, if I were to ask you what your favorite August Wilson play is today, because it can change over time, but today, what would be your favorite August Wilson play? This is
You
for the
know,
group.
I was going to say this is going to sound so cliche. Oh, I'm sorry. But Fences
But it's
definitely,
good though. It's really good though.
it is. It's really good. There's so much. There's so much. And well, I love Denzel. That's a different story. That's the
Yeah.
movie. It has nothing that's necessarily to do with the story, but there's a connection there. But the story just has so much in terms of resilience,
Mhm.
struggle, just Black culture in Pittsburgh, the Hill District,
Mhm.
like all of those things are kind of worked in that story so seamlessly.
Mhm.
And there's so many points. That a person can analyze, and there's so many different things that you can pull from that story in terms of themes.
Mhm.
It's just so well rounded. It's just
Right.
so well rounded. So I definitely have to say Fences.
Yeah.
All right, we'll
Yeah.
go for fences.
So that was a hard question because, like Carla said, so many of them have that history, Pittsburgh history, Black history, right?
Yeah.
So fences was definitely the first thing that came to my mind, but I'm gonna say Joe Turner's Come and Gone, and I
Mhm.
think just because it kind of shows us what life was like after slavery supposed to be over, right? Or is it? What's going on?
Yeah.
So I would have to say Joe Turner's Come and Gone.
Yeah.
Joe
Yeah.
Turner's Come and Gone was the focus of one of our past
Yes, it
workshops as
was.
well.
I think that might have been the first one.
Was it
Wow.
the first one?
I think
Many,
so.
many moons
Whitney,
ago.
Whitney, I think
And
Whitney was the
Cece
first
got
one.
to
Oh, I
actually
don't know.
see that. She actually got to see it on Broadway.
Did you?
I was
Nice.
gonna say that's why I was like, now I was a fences girl. Even and even like I love Ma Rainey's Black Bottom
Yes,
too.
that's another one.
It's real good. But after seeing the play, first I went into this Broadway play. Not like I know a little bit about Joe Turner's Come and Gone, but I've never read it, never seen it. And I left just amazed at
Wow.
the production, the story, just all the things that were a part of it. What they call him, the shiny man.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
just like the significance of
Yep.
him, and just it even shows a part where I forget the character's name, but he has the young daughter, and he has a moment where he's just experiencing a lot of different feelings and emotions, and I don't know, it's just it was very powerful. So I would say that's my favorite now.
Wow. But I love how it changed like over
Yeah,
time. It shifts.
for
My
sure.
my favorite play by August Wilson is Piano Lesson. It I got to see the premiere of it when the new one came out, but I don't know why, but I really like to like watch old stuff and new stuff like and compare and contrast. And I was thinking about like our cultural folklore and like how my grandmother and my aunts have stories that are, Southern influence. And then we have stories that are passed down over and over again and different superstitions and different beliefs. And just kind of seeing the telling and retelling of this story with Piano Lesson, it really helped me to value the fact that so many of our family members and our ancestors carried stories with them and never forgot them. They may not have written them down, but we know them. Like, how much of an honor is it that I know my grandmother's story or that I know, you know,
For sure.
I just think that's so powerful. So to see how it was taken and redeveloped and told in a different way, but still the same, it was just I felt like I was kind of getting a treat, like I'm not supposed to have this, but I got, so I really love and I love spooky stuff. So I love
It
Piano
is a bit
Lesson.
spooky. That
Yeah.
one is a little spooky.
Yeah.
Ghost.
That.
And
Yeah.
watch it at night. You gotta have all the lights on in the house.
Come on.
All of them.
I have not watched the new one. I watched the old one,
It's so
and
good.
you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch this new one to
Yeah.
With the
see.
lights on.
Exactly, right?
All of them, even the ones behind closed doors, turn them on too. That's what they say.
So, Miss Knight, what is something that is happening for you, or what's coming up that we can expect to know about or see, or just something you would like to say to the audience about what's good coming your way?
I would love to say that I'll be writing more poetry soon. The only thing I'm writing right now is a dissertation. Um, currently, currently working on my doctorate in educational leadership. So, reading right now, it's a lot of articles and research, and writing is a lot of dissertation writing.
Mm.
So, you know, unfortunately, there won't be any new poems or anything coming out for at least the next year. But after we're done and we have that doctor on the front of our name, be on the lookout.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I do
Is
have
there
a
anywhere we can access your past work, your poetry?
You know, it's out there. I used to be I used to compete in a lot of slam poetry competitions around the city. And so they're out there. Where not in one condensed place, but there are definitely videos from some of the past competitions. I actually think I competed in one of my first competitions at the August Wilson Center.
Wow.
I won that competition.
with
I
the
remember that.
Okay.
I was sick that day. My mom called me and said there's going to be a slam poetry competition at August Wilson. You should do it. I said, Mom, I'm sick. She said, you should do it anyway. And then I won it.
You had like a Michael Jordan flu game. Like you came out of
Jordan with the flu. Jordan with the
yeah, and
flu.
just killed everything. Okay.
Um, but it's out there. You email me and I can send you some things.
Yeah.
And we're manifesting Dr. Knight. Manifest,
Yes.
Yes,
manifest.
Thank
yes,
Can
yes,
you
you.
let
yes.
our babies know, like, or just the audience know about a doctor and how, like, much work? How many hours would you say a week do you write?
Too many.
Right.
Uh, every waking hour that I have that's not devoted to work, um, And trying to have some self-care is devoted to
Mhm.
writing or reading, just
It's a lot.
trying to it's a lot, just trying to get your thoughts right and get everything prepared for that moment. I want to be like Dr. Cece, so that's what I'm working on.
Trying to be like you, but congratulations on your journey, and we
Thank
wishing you
you.
nothing but the best, Dr. Knight. Okay.
Thank you.
Deanna, what about you, girl?
All right. So first, I have to commend you, ladies, for taking this doctoral journey.
Yes.
Bro, let's
Like,
all that,
Thank you.
because you got that. But
She
me,
said,
I
I'm ready
am right. No, I my kids are young, so I'm kind of trying to find some balance in that,
for
some
sure.
time for myself in that, right? Not overwhelm myself, because we tend to do that sometimes, and I've done that in the past. And I said, let's slow down a little bit.
For sure.
Um, Time for me,
yeah.
which is giving me more time to do more leisure reading. So I'm sorry you're reading all that research, but I do have some time for leisure reading. So I have been reading more. I have been writing more poetry. I actually started. um, I'm going to just put this out there, because this is what we're doing. We're manifesting
Ooh,
anyway.
manifest.
But I started to write. Told you the psychological thriller has me in a chokehold. So I'm writing a novel. I started writing psychological thriller. I can't say how long it'll take or any of that, but that is like that's something on my bucket list. New York Times best-selling author.
Okay.
So,
Come on. Manifesting.
you
Yeah.
know,
I love me a good thriller.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Well,
But the writing is like, even though it's for, I mean, you're writing it for people eventually, but it's really for you first and foremost.
mhm,
And so to pour that into yourself the way you are is really cool, especially when you consider all the responsibilities all of us have. Everybody on this call is more than an educator, more than a friend, a sister, a daughter, a parent, whatever it may be. But somehow you found a way to pull up and show up for these kids and give them such a wonderful gift of being enthusiastic about learning and exploring and getting smarter and stretching. And I just think that it's a blessing that I've been able to come into the room and watch you guys work. And um, when I log on the computer just to see you guys do what you do, we can't thank you enough. I mean, you're invaluable to us as a community. And I can't wait to see what you guys do next.
I
I
appreciate
see
that.
this question if y'all gonna come back, but we'll talk about it later.
Let's talk offline. Let's talk
Yes.
offline.
So, if you were to give any last words to the youth, to community, to whomever, like what would be some words you would want to say? What can we leave with
Yes.
after this?
I would have to say, whatever it is that you want, whatever your heart desires, go after it. Despite what people are saying, negative comments, letdowns. If it's something like, I really do this, I really think I should do this, you do it. Do it. Be your biggest fan, right? Be your biggest fan. You could be your worst enemy or
Come
your
on
biggest
with this
fan. Be your
word. Come
biggest fan. Listen. So
Mhm. That was
Mhm.
a good one.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I guess my final words would be you matter, your voice matters. Be bigger than your dreams.
Mm.
Reach beyond those. Stretch yourself as far beyond where you think you can go because you have it in you. Um, so work hard, definitely lean on your village,
Mhm.
Yes.
and you'll be able to do anything. You will be able to do anything. This comes from someone from meager beginnings. Okay.
Let's
The world is at your fingertips. You just have to go get whatever you want. That's it.
Work hard.
Mhm.
these words. Okay. Um, and for those of you, we didn't quite say this in the beginning, but Storytime Spotlight is a virtual series that we do that highlights Black and Brown authors of children's books. But because we have Youth Writers Camp, and these women are authors as well in their own way and working on being, you know, even more of an author when things come out. We waiting, but we wanted to highlight them, highlight the babies that were a part of the Youth Writers Camp. So you will also see their poems that they created during this Youth Writers Camp. And if you're interested in Youth Writers Camp for 2027, stay tuned.
Yeah.
Keah, do you have anything you would like to say, some parting words?
I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful I get to witness greatness, fantastic educators, um, very no nonsense women. They do not play, but they are very big hearted. They are very empathetic, and I'm inspired, and I hope I can continue to show up and kind of model these examples I have with these women, Dr. Cece, Miss Knight, Miss Spencer. I'm just grateful. Thank you guys so much.
And we thank you, Keah,
You
for
gonna
all
make
that
me
you
cry.
do.
I know, right?
No, don't please, y'all,
We
because
finna
I'll
be on here
cry.
crying. So y'all, this is a wrap. Black excellence.
Yes.
Beautiful black women here. Make sure. Oh, where can we find y'all on any place that if people wanted to connect with you? Is there? You have a LinkedIn? Okay, never mind.
Sure.
Yeah, just because you never know, there might be schools or organizations who might want to book
You're
y'all
right.
for
You're
Oh,
right.
something.
okay, that's fair. Okay. So,
If there's any interest in connecting with Miss Carla Knight and Miss Deanna Spencer,
We'll
feel
get
free to
y'all.
reach out to us at the Octavia
There you
Center.
go.
Any
There you
partners,
go.
any education or organizational partners,
That is
feel free
right.
to
There
reach
you go.
out to us.
Yes.
All
that
right,
was a good
y'all. Well,
save here.
Yes.
bye bye for now. We'll see y'all in August.
All right. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.